Good morning. Still watching Niaga AWANI. I'm joined by my colleague Nabila Khalida, who took over from Haris. We sent Haris to have the much-needed breakfast. Nabila, over the weekend, you went to the KL Fashion Week. How was it?
I went with Nina, and of course, we had a lot of fun watching all the collections. And
there's a report.
Betul, there's a report for it, and stay tuned.
Yeah, it's going to be tomorrow. Nabila has promised. All right, let's get into business, Nabila. We look at the enterprise resource planning. ERP is basically the latest or integrated management of main business process, often in real time and also mediated. By software and also technology, which helps to manage day-to-day business activities. And also, however, ERP adoption and implementation can have wide range of outcomes, and this explains the misconceptions and truth and also myth around this business software. And some organizations think that their business is not complex enough to warrant an ERP. To help us understand a lot better about ERP with us, we have Ben Lim, the Senior Country Manager, Epicor Malaysia. Ben, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Ben, why is it important for our businesses to adopt ERP, and will it lead to a better bottom line?
Hi, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Malaysians. Good morning, both of you. Thank you so much for having me. To answer the questions, I think, first of all, to help the audience here to understand what is ERP. Enterprise resources planning is solutions that help across globally organizations grow their business and optimize resources via sophisticated planning capabilities such as MRP, scheduling, and APS. And most importantly, it serves as a solutions which integrate the data and of the whole organizations into a single platform, providing single source of truth. Like Epicor, Kinetic ERP, becoming the vendor of choice in the market we serve, we will evolve and grow to become an enterprise platform instead. We start off with embedded, powerful, and flexible toolset, add up with consumable, advanced modules and features, flexible, having our customers with flexible of choices for deployment. And nowadays, we allow organizations such as SME to scale and grow with this latest technology or features to adopt a roadmap for digital transformation, industry forward, industry 4.0 or IIoT. And this definitely, for us, we see that it's very essential to have an ERP to run a business. And for the context of Malaysia, a lot of SME, which is the backbone of a major contributor to our economy, we believe how essential is this? It's best to have their stakeholders to be able to answer a few questions at themselves. Are they looking at growing their business revenue? Are they looking at expanding their operations? Are they looking at improving their profitability, their bottom line, which is what you mentioned? Are these their top priorities? Do they need data or information to be instant that support faster and better decision making? Are they able to make more orders? How much they are capable to manufacture more orders? Do they understand their resources capability before looking at optimizing it? How fast the team can actually crunch and information which their team can leverage on, can be on the same page. And most importantly, what is the impact if the informations come out slow or not accurate? And lastly, I would like to say also the accessibility choices that they have today to their information. So these are, I think, define how essential an ERP in organizations. Yeah. Now, for me to add on, for SME, we trust most of the SME have a similar goal, which is to grow their organizations. So this is a proven enterprise platform that a lot of other players or bigger players that have used them, which allow them to scale and access to the latest technology.
Okay, Ben. All right, as mentioned just now, there are a lot of misconceptions and myths. And one of them is, it says that ERP software is actually suitable only for large firms or those within resource-intense industries such as manufacturing, F&B, distribution. But apart from that, cost is cited as the main reason as to why SME is quite reluctant to adopt ERP. So what's the reality here? Is it true?
Well, of course, with all this experience speaking to a lot of SME, our experience speaking to the SME locally, it's definitely true that they have this misconception, or they tend to think that or looking for a solutions or vendor that is deemed fit for now, enough for now, right? and they never understood that they will come to a day the system is limiting their growth. So this is one of the challenges that a SME grow and they face. So when you're looking for, I believe, looking for solutions, they should look at their vendor viabilities, how the product have actually can grow, help them to grow their business, apart from just, of course, the cost and the functionalities, or they deem for enough for now, for the time being.
Ben, most of companies are, confident in their ability to navigate, the early stages of ERP purchase processes. But many say, that they need more support when it comes to implementing a system and with ongoing service requirements and such. But what kind of support do we have in terms of, making them more digitized for their business and all that?
Well, I agree with you. A lot of organizations, especially SME, they definitely very confident and know very well when evaluating a solutions or select their solutions for themselves. But they are often stopped at a few criteria. For example, they often look at the functionalities, the technical features, and then lastly, the cost, the investment cost of the solutions. But that also interprets that they should actually assess more or focus more on the vendor viability, right? The vendor direct engagement, the principal support model, the future and upcoming product roadmap for that solutions. And most importantly, also the industry and implementation experience, how that the implementation experience can help them to grow for future implementation. And of course, most important is the holistic alignment of organizations' objectives and key measurement of success from bottom to the middle management and then to the top management of the organizations.
All right, so from Epicor's perspective, so do you think it is advisable to consider moving to a new ERP solution every 1 to 3 years of duration, because industry innovation and rapid digital transformation is delivering proliferation of new technologies every now and then? So what do you think?
I think, of course, it's never a good idea to move to a new system very often, especially 1 to 3 years is very short term, honestly. But the reason of, if I can think of the reason of change solutions in such a short period of time, I believe is very badly implemented. Or there may be a reason of a country special requirement or enforcement, or maybe it's because of acquisitions of a company to bigger companies. So they tend to unify their system. But I was always advise that look at the evaluation criteria. Technology and the product roadmap is so important. That will actually address the change of rapidly due to technology. And also, instead of looking at proliferation of new technologies, I believe one should ensure that the solutions that they select have the connectivity or solution roadmap to meet the desired technology that the organization intend to leverage on or in the futures. And that's how actually Epico help our customers running our Epico Kinetic ERP.
All right, Ben, thank you so much for joining us this morning. That is Ben Lim, the Senior Country Manager at Epico Malaysia. Thank you so much for sharing with us this morning.
All right, moving on. Inflation in Germany has been hovering at high levels over recent months and may hit 10% in autumn, fueled by a string of factors like the COVID-19 pandemic, geopolitical tension and supply bottlenecks, the country's central bank chief has predicted. Several short-term subsidy policies rolled out by Germany to tackle the country's energy crisis, such as a cut in fuel duty and subsidy for monthly train ticket, are due to expire, and expected that the situation will be further exacerbated, said Bundesbank President Joachim Nagel. Germany will continue to face rising prices for some time to come, and the problem of stubbornly high inflation will not go away in 2023, according to Nagel. German consumers have been groaning under rising prices for months, as the country's inflation rate soared to 7.9% in May this year, hitting a record high since 1990 for 3 consecutive months, fell slightly to 7.6% in June, and further dropped to 7.5% in July, which, however, remains relatively high according to Federal Statistical Office. In addition, energy prices in the country have jumped by more than 30% year-on-year in the past 3 months. With more of a whisper than a resounding clang, Greece has shed another restriction dating back to its painful financial bailout years. The end of enhanced surveillance by European Union creditors means that the country will no longer face quarterly scrutiny of its public finances to receive debt relief payments. That gives Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis' centre-right government greater freedom over the budget at a time when Greece, like all of Europe, is struggling with the post-pandemic cost of living and energy crisis triggered by Russia's war in Ukraine. As Moscow has cut back on natural gas to Europe, energy prices have surged, fueling inflation and threatening to plunge Europe into recession. Nevertheless, Greece, like fellow built-out EU members Spain, Portugal, Cyprus and Ireland will still be monitored by its creditors while paying back its debts. In Greece's case, that will take another 2 generations, with the last loans due for repayment in 2070.
So we are living in a new period here in Greece. Actually, the end of the so-called enhanced surveillance lead us to a new era. And what exactly is new in this new era? We have to identify exactly, so to know what's exactly going on and not just having hopes for something unidentified. So what's going to change? What do we expect? We expect actually that Greece, the country, can go to market, to free market, and to borrow in better terms. So that's quite important thing for the national economy, and taking into account the situation, the global situation, it's for sure so a positive result. So the end of the enhanced surveillance means for us that we can have better, or we can have expectation for better results when it comes to loans and to the enhancement of the national economy. Greece needs reforms, more reforms. That's the answer. I understand that the programs, the austerity programs, helped us in order to make a balance in our financial, let's say, situation. But when it comes to real life, so there are significant problems that they remain. And among these problems are the problems that they have to do with bureaucracy, the problems that they have to do with delays in justice, when it comes to justice, so there are significant delays, and all these things, and even corruption issues, that they still remain. And that's why I believe that the reforms, the grassroots reforms that did not happen during this year, so they should take place, the sooner the better.
Energy-intensive industries in Italy are modifying their production to save energy as they struggle with soaring bills, a top official at the Ecological Transition Ministry said on Sunday. These agreements have allowed Rome to fill its gas storage quickly, but have not been enough to protect its industries from skyrocketing energy costs. This has led entrepreneurs and politicians to criticize the government led by Prime Minister Mario Draghi, which, unlike Germany, has so far said there is no need to impose state measures to ration gas. Attending the same conference, a top official of Italy's gas grid operator SNAM said the country's gas storage system would be 80% full in the next few days. All right.
Yeah, that is all for Niaga AWANI this morning. Nabila, kita sudah pasti akan rangkumkan dalam laman web kami astro1.com. astro1.com. Banyak perkembangan yang kami rangkumkan dan juga sudah pasti dari masa ke masa. Esok juga insya-Allah laporan Nabila akan dikeluarkan
jam 9.
Betul. Dan juga setiap berita Amani akan datang juga. Saya Najib Khairuf
dan saya Nabila Khalida. Terima kasih kerana menonton.